So there you go. Stay mad. You don't know nothing. Look what your mouth has already done. Yeah, okay, my mouth. No, I'm not the one running around acting like some hoodlum. I'm just a fucking hoodlum. What is this? Threat? Are you threatening me, hoodlum? Okay, so we can keep it light here, alright? October 6th, 2020. Obviously, I'm in the greenhouse. What's happened, people, is these tomato plants, can you see what they're doing? They're like crawling. And because they're getting so big, look, they're bending over, right? I came in here one night before it got too dark, and they all fell down. So here I am in the dark with a flashlight, trying to do whatever. And then I came back the next day, try to do whatever, just brace them up as best as I can, just to give these ones that are growing time just to fatten up, right? Because you can do that in a box, remember? So, anyway, this is what it looks like now. I got tomatoes kind of growing all over the place in here, people. My landlady came by yesterday and got some, what is it called? Grapes. She got some nice juicy ones. She found some. I had left them there for her. She's old, right? It's fun. It's like being a little girl again. She really enjoys herself. She thanked me. I said, no, I thank you. Goes both ways. Anyway, I gave her a couple of what I thought were pumpkins. She says, no, they're not really pumpkins. They're something else. They kind of look like a pumpkin, but they're not a pumpkin, right? They last a long time, she said. So I gave her like 2 of them. So I'm out here now, but I'm doing easy work, okay? I'm just nurturing these tomato plants for a little bit, right? Trying to get the full life out of them before they really start to die, right? Looks like they need a little bit of water. I give them a little bit of water almost every day, but you don't want to overwater them, right? Because, what do you call it? Then they get waterlogged. But this one fell. There's nothing really growing on it. What I want is just to fatten up the ones that are like already kind of there, because the weather is changing, right? But you can see they're ripening on the vine. Now I gave my landlady a nice big juicy one yesterday from here, and I've got a couple of more now. You see, these ones you could can, because they're ripening on the vine. I always got spiders around me. Right? I could, but not too worried about it. This one here came from my local corner store, and they're popping up, look, all over the place. So I'm kind of happy about that, right? And it's still blooming. I don't know if there's any bees flying around, right? These ones are fattening up nice. You can see, look how nice they are. These are nice tomatoes. I really like, these are my seeds from a couple of years ago when I had that big bounty. I still have some of those frozen in my freezer, people. I'm so looking forward to those ones. Those ones are so nice. And it looks like I've got more over here, right? Because I really like those ones. So anyway, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just tidying up in here first, because for the next couple, well, no, more like 3 or 4 days after today, I'm just picking up speed. What's going to happen here is I'm going to move all this. I'm starting today, and I'm clearing out all the way around the whole thing, because I'm finishing it. I'm going to work on it. The same thing with the shed. That's almost done too, right? So, hello. See, she said that's not a pumpkin. That's more like a squash. Lasts a long time. That's what she said. So anyway, I'm going to get back and finish what I was working on, right? It's very easy to get distracted, especially when you're canning and stuff. Start pulling this stuff back. This I'm going to cut in half, and I don't have time to sand it, but maybe I'll just take a scraper to it, scrape it off a little bit, and if I can throw on a can of paint, just a little bit of paint, I'm putting this in the front. There's my windows. I need to get on with it, right? So anyway, that's what I'm... Okay, so I don't know what day it is. This is October 6th. So, right, this one has more apple and then grape. This one has more grape, more apple. Okay, you can see. All right. You notice this one's not as dark. And then we've got, I went out in the yard. These beans, there's still more of these. Anyway, just finding miscellaneous beans everywhere. Right, these ones are vine beans. These ones are pole beans. Not pole beans, bush beans. These ones are bush beans. These ones are pole beans. And most of these are pole beans. And then we've got these beans. But they're just, I don't know. Anyway, now I'm going to get into more grape. And I'm going to use the Gala apples. Hold on. Oh yeah, and this came from my greenhouse, so I'm going to see if I can can that. I have to bring in these, right, to make a full jar, right? I'm going to see. Honestly, I can't remember how to can tomatoes, but I already have some in the freezer, so, and, so I'm gonna can that. It would be one jar. And then we'll see what happens as these things are growing. You can see. I'm gonna mix them together. Right? That's what I'm gonna do. Maybe with a little bit of garlic or something. We'll see. And then of course here's applesauce, just straight up applesauce. And of course I've got more downstairs. Look at the nice out. This one is from the organic. Right? Normally I write organic. I should write organic on here, so we know. But I'm not going to be making applesauce per se, because I already have a fair amount of this, right? And then of course this is all organic, right? This is apple, grape. This is all organic. It's all organic, right, people? And then I have, where did I put the juice? I have juice, right? I don't know. Hold on. Okay, so getting on with it, this is what I'm going to peel now. I'm telling you, people, I am so canning fatigued. Oh, I can't wait till these grapes are over. Like, you don't know. However, I'm going to show you what my son found. Okay, this is from the organic apple tree, right? So, I'm going to peel these. Okay? See what we get, because they've been in the fridge for a little while. So, you know, it all depends, right? But there's those Gala. Remember I told you I bought 5 big bags of apples. 2 Galas and 3 bags of Macintosh. So these are the Galas, which if I don't have enough of these, I'll just throw in a few Galas. It's just to go with the grapes. I did grapes for a day and a half. Last night, when I came in from outside, hold on. Last night when I came in from outside, I was doing grapes until, oh God, what time? I don't know. Midnight. Something dumb like that. Right. And then, I guess the day before, or whatever, a day before, a day, 2 days ago, whatever it was another 12-hour shift of just doing grapes. So anyway, I've got a big jar full of grapes and a bowl ready to go. Everything's in a dehydrator, so now I have to can them. So I only have tonight to can them, because I'm out in the yard tomorrow, Friday, and either Saturday or Sunday. We'll see. In the good old days, I used to be able to do 4 days straight, 3-4 days, 12-hour shifts, and then come in and do a second shift for the inside stuff. Right, now I'm down to, I can do 2 days, usually back to back, but I'm pretty worn out right now, people. I've been going pretty steady hard with this canning now for, what, 6 months? Right? for someone who didn't want to can much this year. Right? But no regrets, okay? And then, of course, you know, I'm doing yard work and whatnot, right? So I'm going to definitely get 2 days in. I'm going to start early and go right up until dark. Back to back, 2 days. Probably rest Saturday and then try and get in Sunday. Because I pay for childcare if Tisha can't help me, right? So that's the plan, Stan. So I only have tonight to do this. Now, I am going to continue working on this lizard stuff, right? You know, with our so-called representatives. Because it's important that people are made aware of it and are reminded of what they're voting for. I'm not voting people. Nope. Anyone asks, I recommend that they shouldn't either, unless, of course, they're like them. Right? Because they're not representing human beings, okay? Anyway, April, I did say that when I was down up by Auntie ShaMay's room, I would, grab a couple books. Now, I don't know what box I'm going to send. I don't want to send a big-ass box, right? When you send from Canada to the United States, it's actually very expensive, right? It just is, because that's the way Canadians with their politics are. If I was to cross the border and mail it from Blaine, you know, for example, the box, it would be a fraction of the cost. But I can't cross the border. I have to mail it from Canada. And if I put it in regular mail, I mean, it could get lost. Sassy Antique, one time from Kansas, every now and then she watches my videos, she makes a comment. She said she put something in the mail for me, an envelope or something. I'm assuming it was regular mail, and of course I never got it, right? Now, I've mailed stuff to Florida, to Latrice Allen, and she just basically blew me off, right? Kind of insulted me, honestly. Didn't acknowledge what I sent her. That's not what it was about, right? Even though what I sent her was supposed to be for kids, back to school, right? The XG kid hats. I gave her some rave straps, a couple of bathing suits or something. I have a video on it, right? And some walnut art for her son, black walnut ink. Can you hold on a minute? Hold on. You see, what's happened over the years is I've developed allergies to almost everything now. I just had my furnace serviced, right? And the heat's on and I forgot to turn it down. So I can feel it. I'm just getting really hot here. I just turned down the heat now. So it gets warmer downstairs than it is upstairs. And I went downstairs and got the apples and stuff. So I must have came across the heat or something. Anyway, as I was saying, because I'm in Canada, it costs more money to put things in the mail, right? And if I put it in regular mail, I mean, it's obviously going to take up to maybe 2 weeks before you'd get it. And then, you know, there's no tracking on it. You don't know, right? It might disappear. So, of course, then I have to pay an extra $20 or $30. So I'm paying twice as much as if I was just putting it in regular mail. I try and go the middle road. I don't do complete express, but I get the tracking in there where, you know, it's a little faster. But it costs more money. And I like to use Canadian stamps, and I glue them all over it, right? Versus just the sticker, right? Because, you know, that's no fun. you want to encourage stamp collecting, right? So hopefully the post office will still have stamps in light of everything that's going on, right? Stupid shit that's going on, people. Anyway, that's why I'm going to continue working on what I'm working on, because it's stupid fucking shit, okay? I mean, all the canning jars are drying up. Hold on a minute. I'll show you. My son is always looking for jars for me, right? Can't find them, eh? These ones here, these are the quart size. He got the last 3 cases. He came home with 1 case, and he said there was 2 more left at Walmart. Because, you know, he's gone to Canadian Tire, you know, Superstore, Canadian Superstore, Canadian Tire, Save on Foods, wherever, and he, right, can't find no jars. I bought the last half pint size jars at Nestor's just the other day, and they're saying they're not getting any jars anytime soon. Walmart apparently told my son that they're not getting them anymore, people. They're done. They're not selling because there's nothing. They're not coming in. They're not coming in. So I feel really lucky to have these 3 cases, because I said, oh my God, there's 2 extra cases, because he's been looking for 4 or 5 months for the quart size jars, right? And I can't find them this size. See, I had my own, right? So it wasn't an issue. And like this jar, for example, like if it really came down to it, people, and there were no jars anymore, I can go into my food pantries and I can still get jars. This has got sugar in it, cane sugar. This is a canning jar, right? So all I do is take this out, put it in a pickle jar or something, right, that you wouldn't can with, and I've got a perfectly good canning jar, right? Same thing with this one. This is a canning jar. I have a lot of my stuff just up in canning jars, so if I needed to, I could go into my stash. See, here's another one, right? And here's another one. I got them all over, like, right? Right? But I mean, obviously you don't want to start doing that unless you absolutely have to, right? At this point, I don't have to. And, you know, lucky me, my son came across three cases. So I said, well, gee, son, if you can go back and grab me those other 2 cases tomorrow, right, now that we know where they are, because, you know, he's been looking for months for them, for the quart size, and hasn't been able to find them anywhere, people. He went and he got them for me. So I have 3 cases of quart size jars, which makes me feel good, right? And I bought the last case of half pint size jars at the one place that were selling jars. Outside of that, you can't find jars anywhere. Well, not maybe unless you want to drive miles and miles and miles away, and you might get lucky and find a case or 2 or 3. You know, that's the thing, you might get lucky, right? You know, you have to get kind of lucky now. And that tells you something. That tells you that our politicians are doing a really shitty fucking job. Okay? When you can't even get canning jars, they're doing a really shitty job throughout the whole spectrum of the political arena. Okay? So don't think that I'm not working on that, because I am. I just don't like dwelling and looking at eyeballs all day and tongues. Not all day, but anyway, back to this. So I have sent stuff to Florida, right? It cost me like 60, 70 bucks, you know. What that woman did with the stuff that I sent her, I'll never know, because she blew it off in the end like it was nothing, right? You know, for all her, well, you know, helping them back to school and, you know, do stuff for the kids and Like, I don't know what she did with those G-Kid hats. I don't think she gave them to anybody except maybe gave them to her own kids, right? What she did with the rave straps and anything else that I sent her, I don't know. I gave her all the information to my nonprofit, all of it, right? So, you know, some of the things that she does and goes on and talks, like when she was doing her raffles and all this shit, you know, I'm sure she got that kind of idea from my fucking information on my nonprofit paperwork. But at the end of the day, what she was doing was illegal, right? And then she ended up stopped doing her raffles because technically you can't do raffles legally unless it's registered with the government, okay? For a long time she was doing raffles, and eventually she ended up stopping because, you know, right? They probably caught up with her and said, look, that's a no-no. You know, you have to have a registered nonprofit or charity or something, and then you have to write your proposal and you submit it to your local government. They approve it, then you do your raffle, right? And you can do a one-time raffle, or you can write in your raffles or whatever you're doing for a one-year period, right? So anyway, you know, that kind of went down the tubes. And then I sent like $635 worth of outfits to a guy in Ohio, right? Because, you know, he was working on wanting to set up, what is it called? You know, something for young people with studio and music and you know, audio and filmmaking and that kind of stuff, right? And, you know, I'm working on a nonprofit a long time, people, you know. So anyway, I wanted to support his cause, and, you know, he was saying, oh, you know, do this, do that, give donations, you know, send me some, and I'm like, okay, well, I can send you some costumes, right? And you can auction them off, and, you know, and then take that money and put it to your cause. Put it to your cause. Well, let me tell you something, people. Once he got it, I phoned him up. He said, yeah, he got it. He hung up the fucking phone on me, and then he fucking just ignored me after the fact. Like, people are so rude, right? So not only did I lose out on $635 worth of costumes, right, but I got played off like a little punk bitch, and God knows what he did with them because, right, he's still on YouTube. Latrice Allen is still on YouTube. They're still on YouTube. I'm still on YouTube. But the point is, you know, like, so anyway, I don't, you know, like, I'm sending one of these books out to Massachusetts to April, right, with her jelly, right? We know we got the blackberry jelly, right? We know that I want to give you a jar of the grape with the apple, probably from this batch that I'm doing now, right? Because all the other jars are downstairs. And I'm going to give you some bay leaves. I asked my son, he says he doesn't come into bay leaf tree. He says he doesn't come into bay leaf trees very often, but once in a while he does, right? Because, you know, it's contract work, right? And I said, well, if you do, bring me a whole bunch. Right? And I'm going to start working on, I'm going to try to anyway, work on Andre's walnut art. I do want to thank Brooke Valentine. I don't think she watches my videos. She's got some drama going on. Everybody's got drama going on. But anyway, I was listening to her drama, and there are other people's drama. And through that drama, it was Brooks Valentine who's, you know, before you come to me with drama, like, go try and create your own fucking life, right? And she suggested GoDaddy.com to make a website to sell things. So I hooked up something to see if I can start building on Andre's website. So if I get bay leaves and that kind of thing, and if I can get this website up and running, I don't know what it's going to require. I'm too busy. But, you know, maybe we'll do bay leaves. So in the meantime, I'm just going to send you off some bay leaves, April. Oh, yes, and I was thinking, since you kind of like those beans, those big long ones, this is what they look like in the inside, right? I don't know if you've seen that before. I was doing grapes last night. So, it's no fashion show here. But I have nice dry ones up in my cupboard from last year, which I'm going to probably give you a few of these. And they produce really beautiful red little flowers. And then, of course, the long-ass beans, right? And it don't require much dirt. I don't know what your living circumstances are like, but if you're in a, you know, an apartment or something like that, or whatever, you can grow them in a planter pot if you don't have land. I don't know. So I thought I'd give you some of these because you took notice of those beans. So we've got the bay leaf, we've got the beans, we've got the jelly, we've got the grape, and then I just grabbed 2 books. You tell me which one you want. See, they're pretty. I'm trying to, you know, I'm not sure what kind of box I'm going to pack this stuff in yet. But I want to kind of get it out in the mail in the next week or 2 or whatever, right? Same thing with Lucy's box, just before things get really crazy in terms of post offices and that type of shit, right? So, April, which one do you want? Okay, you get to choose. 1,000 recipe cookbook or 1 meal at a time. Which one? You let me know, and that will go, ouch, in the box. See, that's okay. If I was to just do the jelly, yeah, I've been thinking, right? If I was to just do the jelly, because we don't want the jars to break, right? I would have, that's why I kept these little boxes. See, I would have just gone like that. But I want to give you a book too, right? That Soul Train for Auntie ShaMay, right? So you see this little pink box. I won't be able to get the book in that box. So, but do you see how this? I'm thinking like this. You see, I'm thinking, right? See, this would work. I think so. Yeah. See? Look at that. I can get 2 jars in there. Really nice. You see that? Stuff it up with a bunch of papers. Right? Now, when I send it to you, I'm going to have to put the lid on it. I mean, the rim. I'm going to have to. Right? I won't screw it on tight. It will be just loose. Right? But because it's a jelly, this one here, even if this one was to pop, it would still be okay. The other one, if it pops, well, you know, because this is just Canada Post, so they're going to be tossing it around, right? I'm going to put fragile, but then you see what I'm going to do here is, once this is packed up, muffins came in for Andre's birthday, right? Do you see? And then I'd put this in another box, right, with your book. Do you see? And then beside this, right, you're going to have your bay leaf, you're going to have your beans, and whatever else I put in there, right, just for fun. It's just for fun, right? And then, of course, Lucy's box, you know, I'm debating, Lucy, whether I should be ripping out these walnut trees at this time, right? We'll try a couple, okay? Because I want to get them in the mail and just be done with it, okay? So if they don't catch, I'll just get them, put them back on the day closer when I'm getting ready to go to the post office, right? I have a box for you. Your box is basically packed, but I found another box. It's a diaper box. It's a little bit bigger to fit in the trees, right? And then I'll just pluck them out, put them in a bag, grab a little bit of sage. The plants aren't so little now; they're a little bigger, right? throw in you a couple of sage plants, give you a few bay leaves, right? If you want a couple beans, just let me know and I'll give you a few beans too. Just because the plant itself is so beautiful with the red flowers, eh? And it's a very hardy plant. You just have to start them in the inside, because otherwise the the larvae and the slugs and stuff, they'll eat it. Like, you have to start the plant on the inside, have it grow about this much first or so before you put it in the ground. Then it will survive. Otherwise, things will eat it if you put the seed into the ground, and you don't want that to happen, right? And then, so yeah, what I'll do is I'll grab three of these walnut plants. And then if they don't catch come summertime next year, then we'll try and send you another batch. Okay? That's what we'll do. So I'm getting there, right? Do you see? Almost there, right? I've been working on it. So, and then, April, when you get it, whatever it costed me in terms of postage, when you have money, right, what you do is you go off to your post office. This is what I would like. Go off to your post office and buy sheets of stamps, right? 2 cents, 3 cents, whatever, okay? Make them like sheets, okay? And then put them in a nice envelope so they don't bend, and then mail them to me. And then that compensates me for what I cost to pay, right, to send it. And then I'm just going to add that to my stamp collection. And then hopefully at some point, get Andre involved with that. Because I have lots and lots of stamps. And it would just be nice to have that with the rest of the stamps. Right? So you get to go to the post office. And hopefully we'll have stamps. Hopefully the government hasn't screwed around with our stamps, okay? Just like they're screwing around with our jars. Serious. So maybe what I should do, being that I've yakety yak for a fair amount of time, and honestly I wasn't even really going to be making any videos because I just want to get on with doing things, right? I'm still struggling with the depression. But I'm working. I think a big part of it right now is I'm very, very tired because I've been keeping a real steady pace with shit, and I'm not out of the woods yet because of all those grapes, right? And tomorrow I'm out with this hammer. I'm getting out early and with the skill saw, and I'm gonna get on to Mr. Lace's cat house, aka the lettuce room, and I'm going to I want the 2 windows installed within the 2 days. That's my priority, right? That's what I'm going to focus on. So it takes time to cut off the screen, get your boards ready, but once they're done and you pop in your window, it's good, right? And then, yeah. I have to do floorboard in there though. But let's work on the windows first. So my goal is to start with the windows in Mr. Lace's cat house, because I want that lettuce room. And if things get real shitty in the province of British Columbia, Canada, which actually I should be looking for a set of grow lights just as backup. So maybe I'll look online and see if I can buy them and just have them on hand in the event that the grocery stores dry up right along with the frickin' jars. Because people are predicting this, right? More and more people are predicting this. Unless, of course, you've got lots of money and you want to pay $25 for a head of lettuce, then yeah, it makes sense, right? That, it's not going to bother you. But if that's... So I'm going to go looking for grow lights as I'm working on this, okay? That's what preppers do, right? That's what people do when they have a family and they have the available space. And, and then I told my landlord last time I seen him, which was just like 2-3 days ago, I said, next year, maybe you go chicken shopping for me. He likes chickens, right? He misses his chickens. And he goes, yeah, you can have chickens now. And I said, I know I can have chickens now. I just have to get everything else organized first. I said, yeah, so maybe next year you'll go chicken shopping.
Really? Chicken shopping?
Yeah, yeah. Well, Mr. Gill knows where to find chickens.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we might have 3 birds next year, people. Wouldn't that be interesting? Right? Fresh eggs every day. Yeah, yeah, nothing like fresh eggs. So that's what's going to happen here. So I don't really want to do this. I'm kind of tired. But I have to. So just to show you what I've done and why I have to do it. We'll end it on this note. Okay, moving like a snail. Because you have to remember, people, I have all this pressure in my head and the ringing in my ears, with my eyes getting worse and worse and worse. Right. Some days it's okay, some days it's really bad. It's been kind of bad. I woke up this morning with my ears just screaming at the top of their lungs. Doesn't help when you've got all these trucks going, starting at 7 o'clock in the morning when you're sleeping. Beep, 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 beep. So anyway, I did this 2 days ago. It took me 12 hours. And then when I came in from outside last night, I did, well, at least half that much more, because I've got a big bowl that's fairly full. Because I was up. I did another 6 hours last night. So that's what I have to do tonight. And then tomorrow morning, I'm outside. So it's 6 o'clock now. Get this, put that back in the fridge. Andre wants me to cut this pineapple. So I'll cut the pineapple, wash my jars, get them into the oven, start peeling apples, cook them. I just want mostly juice, a little bit of pulp, can them, and then I may or may not do a jar of this. We'll see.